All right, we are live. Welcome to Geeks Worldwide presents Press Any Key. I am, of course, your host, Michael Schluger, and this is episode 296. We have a fantastic show for you. Let me introduce the crew. Like myself, it is no longer, was it No Shave November? Is that technically what the term is?
November, I think.
Movember.
Novembeard is another word for it.
Novembeard.
November.
But like myself, the wonderful Connor Howard has decided to keep his luscious beard going, or he's just whichever.
I shaved my neck throughout the month, but I kept everything else going.
Still counts.
That's the plan. Yeah, I think so.
Josh Irwin is with us as well.
Hey, what's going on?
And of course, Chris Lassard.
I can't grow a beard.
It's okay.
Yeah, I haven't hit.
It's okay. We still love you, Chris. It's all right.
It's all right. At least someone does.
Now there's a total lack of facial hair in that window.
Yeah, it's kind of looking bare down there.
I could grow like a nice Fu Manchu, right? But I don't know if my husband would be okay with that. Probably not. I've always wanted to like experiment, but it gets to a point where the middle of my, it's funny, he just Facebook said, so I'm not okay. So my mustache doesn't connect, and so I have like the reverse Hitler.
Oh no!
Yeah, yes. And that's hot. Let me tell you. If you've ever seen sexy before,
you should just get a fake beard. Just go to like a costume shop to like a good one, not like the cheap ones. I'd be curious to see what you would look like with the beard.
Terrible. That's the answer. What if I get a beard and I'm like, what happened?
You'll definitely want to tune in next week, folks, and see what Chris comes back with.
Your husband will give you the quickest shave in history. He'll just be like,
yeah, exactly. Rip it out.
Yeah.
Well, back to video
games. Yes, we are here to talk video games. I know it doesn't sound like it, but I swear to you we are. So we're going to start off with two PSAs. The first one is just kind of random, but I thought this was cool, so I threw it in here. I was almost tempted to do this as a what the fuck story, but it's too cute to do it as a what the fuck story. Basically, a couple of weeks ago, actually a couple of months ago at this point, isn't it? Final Fantasy XIV, the game that I truly despise, announced a collaboration with Assassin's Creed, and they basically had this whole mini event within the game centered around Assassin's Creed that was just really odd. But whatever, the two teams were a fan of each other's works apparently, and now it's coming back around. You will, if you have the latest Assassin's Creed Origins, you'll be able to get a Chocobo mount in Assassin's Creed Origins. Why? Who cares? It's a fucking Chocobo mount in Assassin's Creed Origins. I think it's cool.
It has to play the music though. Like the music.
Oh my god, yeah.
That's true, yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Agreed.
But it has to be like Egyptian flute style, like yeah. It gotta be authentic about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So make this happen, Ubisoft. This is all on you. You decided to walk down this road, so now we need the Chocobo song playing when you ride the Chocobo. I think it's only fair.
Only fair. How did the Chocobo? That's not. Is it animal cruelty?
You keep cutting it out for me, Chris.
Okay. Yeah. What are the Chocobos? What?
So I wonder how the Chocobos feel about this. Right?
Good question.
Like getting into another game. I wonder if they were at this. Right? Is this okay? Is this morally all right?
Yeah, let's check with the Chocobo Rights Union. We really need their approval on this.
I donate already.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I'm the president. You're talking to us.
All right, bringing it up. You're our point person now, Chris,
yeah.
in this Chocobo related matter.
Yep.
Get on it.
Meanwhile, I'm just gonna ride it around, and you know what? Fuck it. If the music's not in there, I'm just gonna open up a tab, go on YouTube, find like a 24-hour loop of it, and just go at it.
Problem solved. I do before I have sex. put on the Chocobo theme song and just get going.
I always put on the Guile theme. That's just me.
I mean, why the Guile theme and not the Rocky theme at that point?
Because it's weird.
It's all personal, you know. It's all subjective. Whatever you feel
I guess. I mean, he is a man's man. But actually, we're not done talking about Assassin's Creed. The reason for it is because Black Flag, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, is going to be free on Uplay this month. It's kind of dope, honestly. It's pretty much the best Assassin's Creed game before, in my opinion. I know you're a fan of Syndicate, Conrad. I thought it was the best one prior to playing Origins. So this one is going to be free starting December 12th. All right. So from December 12th to December 18th, all you got to do is open up Uplay and boom, it's yours. Enjoy. Prior to December 12th, another game is going to be available for free called World in Conflict. But honestly, I mean, I barely remember that game. I did not play it at all. Did anyone play it here?
I have no idea what it is.
It was. I heard about it when it was new, but it was pretty under the radar. I never actually got the chance to play it. I'm excited to try it out now that I have it on Uplay for free, so that's cool. But
yeah, so World in Conflict was a 2007 RTS game, basically. And it's really odd because, according to the internet, it was published by Sierra, so I'm not sure how it ended up with Ubisoft, but I'm not going to ask questions.
Vivendi.
Oh, Vivendi, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So yeah, I think it was set in an alternate world, like World War III was happening or something like
Cold War, World War III, something like that. Yeah,
something like that. But yeah, it's an RTS. Check it out. Again, you can't really argue with free, but Black Flag I think is the cooler game.
Oh yeah, I'm psyched about that. I enjoyed Syndicate, but I would still probably put Black Flag above it as a favorite of mine. So I'm pretty psyched.
Sea shanties, man, those things were awesome.
It was great. Yeah,
they were so good. Amazing. Honestly, I think it launched the current sort of. We're seeing sort of a trend of pirate games starting to come out now.
Bit, yeah.
And it was completely launched by Black Flag. It was 110% Black Flag that started.
For sure.
Yeah. But let's talk about an actual what the fuck story for this week. We have a ton, so I completely don't mind tossing one out at the beginning. Basically, in my opinion, this is the most useless piece of shit that has come out in a while, but it is a Amazon Alexa speaker. So basically, like, not the Dot. The Dot's the smaller one. What's the regular one's just called? What, Alexa or
Echo?
Echo. Thank you, Josh. Right. So basically, this is an Amazon Echo, except it's shaped like a Destiny 2 ghost. And speaks with the voice of the ghost. Now, if you have a regular Amazon Echo, you can just download the voice of the ghost, and that doesn't, I believe that's free. It doesn't really cost anything. This ugly ass monstrosity is $90.
Come on, man.
I think it looks kind of dope. I don't even like Destiny that much, and I'm like, I could see myself getting that. I think it's cool. $90. It looks neat.
As someone who's actually a fan of Destiny, more or less, like I've played both games and you put considerable time into them. Like, yeah, I don't think it looks ugly. I think it looks kind of cool, but it's like I'm not buying it. I'm not going to buy it. But like, I can understand how, like, if someone was a more hardcore fan of Destiny than I am, I can see how they'd be interested if they also wanted an Alexa. But
you've got to be
there's nothing for me here.
Really, really hardcore.
Yeah, I think so.
It looks cooler than the little round hockey puck. I mean,
I agree with that. That's for sure. Yeah.
But the whole point of it is that you're not looking at this thing. You're just
and I think the hockey puck is like easier to put in your house, right? Because I don't think most people are gamers, right? So like when I'm picking out your Alexa, you're putting it in a place that it looks good in too. I think that's like a big reason it's popular, and this is a lot harder to make that happen. I mean, like I don't know where I'd put it to, because what if someone's significant other doesn't like it and wants to put it somewhere else?
See, I would just hang it from my ceiling so that when I'm like streaming games and stuff, it's always like right there, and it's just
interesting.
Good use for it. It is like a weird intersection of hobby and appliance that like doesn't really, it just doesn't add up to me. It's like kind of a weird combination. But if you love Destiny and you want an Alexa, there you go, I guess. But I feel like that's like such a niche thing, you know. So I don't know.
It's, by the way, if for some godforsaken reason you do want this thing, you only have a limited window left to purchase it. Pre-order is still available on it. but they are shipping out the 19th. And I believe once they're shipped out, they are not going to make any more. I don't think these things are flying off the shelf. So
literally,
floating off the shelf.
Anyways, let's talk about the regular gaming news. We have some interesting things going on. Let us start with, as long as we're talking about Destiny 2, let's talk about Destiny 2. Destiny 2 has gone through a bit of a debacle, I would say. I think we're past controversy now, and it's just straight up into debacle, where they basically scaled the way that players earned XP, but didn't tell anyone how they were doing it. And so a very attentive player basically ran a bunch of tests to figure this out on their own, and then when confronted with this information that the Bungie was sort of intentionally increasing the grind, then they sort of copped up to it, and they're like, yeah, we're doing this. And then correct me if I'm wrong, because Connor, you know what, I'm gonna actually shut up now, and because you're the more active Destiny 2 player, have you been following this story? Do you want to like?
Oh, that's the thing. Yeah, I played Destiny 2 earlier, a month or two ago. I actually rented it just to see what the campaign was like, and then I got rid of it. Like I think I sent it back right around the time this was starting to get uncovered. So I haven't really been paying too much attention to it, but it's definitely an instance of like developers need to know how important it is to be transparent about their systems, because people will find this shit out. People will go to whatever lengths necessary to find out the mechanics of how they are getting screwed or whatever. So I think Destiny's always had a grinding problem, and I think people were really, really adamant about finding out just how bad it was in Destiny 2, because it felt different. They had tweaked a lot going from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2 about how rewards worked. Like in Destiny 1, you had to do the exact same thing over and over and over again, and hopefully you got something good out of it. In Destiny 2, you could do a bunch of different things and get sort of consistent rewards that were more random. They were more random, but they were more frequent. So like you kind of got some payback more often, but you never knew what you were going to get. So I think people just kind of wanted to find out exactly what was going on, and maybe that's what led us here.
The response was also a bit baffling, because basically once Bungie admitted that they were scaling back the EXP gains, they removed it. So now you earn EXP, or XP, I should say, uniformly. There's just one problem. They increased the amount of XP you need to earn to get anything. So now the grind is even bigger.
I don't know why they just didn't say, hey guys, we thought this was a good idea to encourage players to try out other game modes.
Right.
and just like go with that, because I would have believed that. 100%.
That makes sense. That would make sense to me.
Right?
They're probably just thinking like, hey, we don't want people to get bored so fast, so we want to keep them on the treadmill a little while longer, basically, because there's only so much you can do. I think Destiny 2 had a lot of improvements to the world and to the the activities you had at your disposal. But at a certain point, you got like the raid, you've got competitive, and that's about it as far as end game content. Otherwise, you're just kind of doing relatively entertaining but like ultimately repetitive stuff. So like that's their incentive. They were like, hey, let's just keep people busy for a little while longer.
And the timing couldn't be worse, because they have the new DLC coming out.
Came out yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Came out.
Yeah, and I mean, it seems to me that Bungie is just kind of like shooting themselves in the foot. By the way, Osiris is getting awful reviews from what I've seen.
Really?
So I got the opening cinematic, and I didn't play Destiny 1, but I'm at like 301, 302 in Destiny 2 right now. A lot of my friends play it, and I like did the opening of Osiris, and I was like, I don't think I'm interested anymore, right? It was that. I like saw the opening cinematic. Yeah. It was cool. It was pretty. It really makes sense. But it also made me mad that it was already in the game. I didn't have to download it. I just paid for it, and then it was just locked in the game. And I was like, this was here the whole time. Why didn't you give it to me?
I've long for a while. I've had a problem with the way Destiny, like Bungie handles just sort of the phasing in of content for their games. Like in Destiny 1, it was basically a paywall. Like if you wanted to do the weekly Heroic Strike or Nightfall or whatever it was, you would have to have the DLC. Basically, you'd have to have the latest expansion.
And then what the DLC does,
yeah. By the way,
off to you.
By the way, yes. So okay, actually, I'm going to stop for a second because I feel like Josh hasn't gotten a chance to chime in. So, Josh, what were you going to say before?
I bet that back Battlefront 2 microtransactions. That's all. They're just like.
Yeah, so that was the other thing I had read today, that basically when Osiris dropped, they changed what you were saying, Connor, that you could no longer access some of the dungeons unless you paid, that you could before Osiris came out. And now once it came out, you have to purchase Osiris to go back into